Bafana Bafana made an impactful return home yesterday, capping off a remarkable journey at the AFCON tournament in Ivory Coast with a commendable third-place finish. This achievement has prompted a deep dive into the current state of South African football, leaving many pondering the realization of promises made in 2010 to foster the development of the sport in the country. To delve further into this, let's welcome Augusto Palacios, who is the head of Augusto Palacios Apprentice Academy. Mr. Palacios, Coach Palacios, welcome to Pitso here on SABC Lehae. Before we go further with this conversation, I'd like to hear from you. What do you make of Bafana Bafana's performance in the recent AFCON that was held in Ivory Coast?
Yes, good morning. How are you, everyone? I think what Bafana did was out of expectation, because when the team departed, a lot of people not believe in the team can arrive to semifinals. I think he did fantastic job under the circumstance, with obviously with my majority of players with experience who play in CAF Championship. But for me, it's a great achievement what we did to arrive to semifinal.
And you played a huge role in Lyle Foster's development, and at the moment he's playing for one of the big leagues in the world. How much did we miss him in the Bafana squad in the tournament?
Obvious, I miss him because he's attract football with the way he progressing in the Premier League, the way the coach company, he continue developing him and the confidence in him. You know, I don't want to touch the problem what he has in the moment. Like now in the moment, for example, his injury, he had the muscle injury. He never played against Liverpool. We don't know how many weeks he's going to be out football. But I believe the way he progressing is the blessing, because the talent what he have and the way I find him in the 8 to 12 year, he was signal with a player who ambition, and especially the support for his family, because without his family, I don't think he support the way he doing now, you know, to be alone first when he was in Monaco, and after move to Portugal, and after to Belgium, and now in Premier League. It's not easy for the young player to be alone, you know, but he managed to pass all this situation, and he continue his football. He's doing very well, and hope he can recover soon the injury he have now.
And when we look at the squad that was playing in the AFCON, the team that brought us a bronze medal, when you look at most of those players, they part of development structures. When you look at Pitso I, he was part of the Sundowns development, as well as Grand Kekana Super Sport development, Ronwen Super Sport development. And how much of a contribution do these developments, add to the quality of football in the country?
100% correct what you say. When you develop players in the correct way, we must say in the correct way, who not only involve the technical aspect, the physical aspect, and the tactical aspect, also the mental aspect. You know, the way the arrogant, who was William in the goal for the penalty in the whole AFCON competition, you know, the way he commanded the captain, the leadership. He did the same thing in Sundowns. He did the same thing in Super Sport. The ambition, the temor, you know, the Swan, the Pitso I, the means this player coming from different background to the other one. I don't want to mention name to the other one, but the player who coming from good structure and good development, and then he can achieve. And this is happening. It's happening. It's lucky to be, you know, player from who play together. And I say in Sundown Championship, and also in Orlando Pirates who play together, you know, and then the mean is made a great contribution to the national team, because the core of the team, it was majority of players who play together. But apart from there, it's also the hungry who the player was, you know, to play a different opponent. And we must consider also something. AFCON is AFCON. Qualification for the World Cup is qualification, is completely different. I mean, now He need to be prepared now for the qualification for a different environment, home and away. But the development aspect in the player is very important, very, very important, and key component to the performance of the players.
Coach, let's talk about your academy, the Augusto Palacios Apprentice Academy. How do people get into it, young boys? How do you recruit young boys to get into your program? And perhaps just share some of the programs that you have in your academy. I remember in the earlier on, you did mention that it's not just about the tactics, but also you prepare these players mentally. Perhaps just expand on more of the things or the things that you focus on in your academy.
Yes, the academy is operated from 25. We now in Johannesburg Secondary School in Mayfair. Our administration is Ricardo. You can contact him in 0829777-35. We training Monday and Thursday from 4 o'clock to 5:30, and Saturday from 9 to 11. Any player from 5 years, boys and girls to 20 years, he can register in the academy. I say it's in Johannesburg Secondary School. And we go into process. Process is the player when register receive the kit. We training in the same kit everyone. And the academy divide, in the academy the people who register and the development, the player from the academy who have the talent and perform very well during the season, he will transfer or graduate to the development. And then we play in two different leagues. We play in the Mayfair League, Safa Mayfair League, and we play in the Soweto League. Players arrive in the time that we opened last week, and we check every player about the time we receive. We evaluate the player, we assess what is the technical aspect, because if the player not developing the technical aspect, he cannot play it. We check the receiving of the ball, the control, the ball, the movement, no matter the age, the coordination aspect. And then from there, when the player arrives to certain level, I say myself, we recommend to different clubs who already played Ividea in Orlando Pirates, in Casa Chiefs, in Sundowns, in Super Sport, or ABC League, or Keimosepe League, or Fair National Division. All this is the process. The main player who got ambition to progress, we there, to teach the basics. This is the reason the academy, the name is apprentice, because I want the player to understand, to focus the apprentices to learning the development with the process, and he developing him. Apart from there, we very emphasize about school, the combination about school and sport, and we also, in the group of WhatsApp, we inform the parents about the routine of the players when he's up from the bed, when he take the transport to go to the school, the lunch box, the nutrition aspect, and also part of life skills, because some of the players sometimes have wrong habit with another friend, and we try to, to encourage to see what is football aspect. It's not only about to keep the ball. It's a lot of elements who involve to be, if one day be professional player.
And it's common knowledge that most of these development centers are found in the Gauteng province. Don't you think maybe perhaps it's time for the government or maybe the private sector to also look into other provinces and build these development centers so that the quality of, so that at least all provinces have these developments and the quality of football, is improved from grassroots level?
Yeah, unfortunately, my academy not had any sponsor. We rely on the contribution of the parents. But you mentioned something very important. If the government is not build facilities, especially as facilities, grounds, or place when you have 3 or 4 grounds, and you use the legends, for example, who follow the SAFA qualification courses, and then we're not going, I'm sorry to say you anyway, because in the rural areas, I want to put you the case, Lucas Tualas, I find him in Nellis Plate in the rural area, Pomoso Manense, Leslie Mañantela, etcétera, etcétera, Benny de Vilacasi en Soweto, Joseph Macaña en Cajizo, Guilherme, if we don't go to the rural area where football is isolated and we identify talent, and we need to centralize the whole country to have centers where the player development. Because remember, we had a school competition, but after the school competition, what happened? I mean, we need to identify players where we can take him after to school, to nutrition him, to have a good habit to living, the life skill aspect, and then you develop the proper player. And then who will benefit? The national team. Who will benefit? The club. The reason the development people must not think is about how the soccer ball, kick the ball. No, it's a lot of elements who you need to do it, especially the mental aspect, because our players suffer too much when he go to overseas because the mental aspect he was not developing him. And I did clear with Life Foster, not about one day. It's daily basic. Sometimes players arrive earlier and you see within 10 minutes, and then you pass videos about Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Mané, the Senegal, and different players, and you see the role model from there. It's important to understand that we need to uh, indicate to the player what is about liquor, what is about drugs, what is about to have a girlfriend, what is about sex, what is about family, what is to value where you coming. And this is the reason and sometimes you find players who play locally, spend the money to buy expensive car. He never had any profit or any highways to stay. And when retired, finished without nothing. This is the reason the process of development player, it need to be in all aspects and who need to be contribute and coming closer is the family. The family is very important.
And in closing, Coach, what are some of the challenges, or perhaps let's look at how we can improve the state of football development in the country to match the world standards? Because yes, I do believe there's work being done, but do you think, there's a way in which we can improve it so that it matches, with countries in Europe and also maybe in America?
Okay, first, in the professional stage, in the PSL, we had a very good DDC, but we need to have the league, the junior league, only about PSL clubs to check the level. We can't mix the level of PSL club, the way he development, with other academic organizations. This is one. The second one is about the coaches. A coach need to understand is the different to coach in the township and the different to coach professional. And all the coaches need to go through the SAFA qualification, and also SAFA need to implement a lot of workshop and a lot of refresh courses. 4, we need to have field where it can the players practice football. You have too many schools who not have fields, not have any soccer fields to practice. Where go these players? We have too many areas in the township who no facility. Sometimes you have in the township the ground who sometimes in 1 hour you training 3 or 4 teams in the same time. I mean, a sport facility we don't have. We don't have. 6, I believe the ex-legends who play football and he had intention to coach the children, he need to go to the course, to a special course to follow the process. 7, we need to identify talent identification in all the region, We need to have talent identification from the age, the 12 years, 13 years, 11 years, we need to identify. One thing that we need to understand, we need to believe in our young players, especially in the PSL, especially in the national team. We cannot believe if the player had 23, they are going to Bafana. No. If the player is 17 years and 18 years, he play in the PSL, and then we must give the opportunity. For me, we had a great talent in this country. We have. We show we have. But the poor development is the more important aspect. And development, remember, starts from the earlier age. If we don't start development from the earlier age, it's going to be difficult to the player growing. Lionel Messi, from what age he developed from the age? Cristiano Ronaldo, Mané, Suarez. It's too many players I can put an example. And this is the reason myself, I believe, if we reverse for 1999, 1998, where the group of players from Orlando Pirates played the first derby in the history coming from the development, who was Pomoso Manense, it was Guilherme Remy, it was Jose Macaña, it was Benny Vilacasi, Lebojan Moquena, Lucas Tuala, Taban Redeve de Bolquipe, que Lebojile Mave. I mean, you have seven who play the derby from coming from the development. And you have players also in chief, young players who play in the development. But my question is, when you give opportunity to young players in the PSL, you get 20 minutes, you get another 20 minutes, you get a half time until coming the full game, and he coming consistent. But you see players who play 10 minutes and you don't see again. You don't see again. And this is the problem what we have. Or we
Coach,
trust in the young player, we trust what we developing, or we not trust. This is simple.
Coach Augusto Palacios, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.
No, it's my pleasure. And important when we're talking about football to talk all the components, elements who development any players in the country. Thank you to you.
Indeed. That is the legend himself, Augusto Palacios, talking to us about the state of football development as a sport in the country, looking at challenges and what more can be done in order to improve the sport from grassroots levels. Well, that is the conversation we had today. This is following a good display of football by Bafana Bafana in the recently concluded AFCON in the Ivory Coast, where they came back with a bronze medal.